family, friends, and community from COVID-19. Get vaccinated sharply.
Do it for love.
Do it for love.
Do it for love.
The People's Parliament is brought to you courtesy of JIA Outdoor Services. JIA Outdoor Services, a member of the Mbarukas Group, owns and manages billboards and advertising services in and outside Akwa Ibom State. Why not visit them today or call this number 0803-741-2340. JIA Outdoor Services, a member of the Mbarukas Group.
Mikuri Bumbume, Minyamurua, Ketansu 102.7 FM, Kururu Tangekon, Iquitabe Quiba, Itune, Itaita, Iquipu, Gate Usoke, Adede, Iquitabe Quiba, Itune Itaita, Iquipu, Gate Usoke, Tansu 102.7 FM, Ekene Tang.
Amapiano and Afrobeats, they dine together. The two giants, Niger and South Ibom show. Plenty drama, romance, cameras 247. Come see where Yawa the gas Yawa.
Make on cash all the excitement on Top Go TV Jolly, Max, and Super on Channel 29. Reconnect today on my Go TV app or dial *288#. Big Brother Titans now for people who don't reach or pass 18 years old. Our headline sponsors now Bamboo, Wave, and Lotto Star.
Welcome back. This is your boy Blaze, and I'm here with Mr. Jason, our social media expert, and he just told us why the COVID-19 vaccines have issues. Mr. Jason, is it possible to... Oh, sorry. Hello?
My name is Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
My question is to your guest.
Please go ahead.
Where did you get all this information about the COVID-19 vaccine from?
Well, you know, as an influencer with over 500,000 followers, I have access to various blogs and pages.
Wait a minute. From blogs?
Of course.
Other presenter, you you shock, Abby. Mr. Jason, you be doctor. Are those blogs run by the NCDC, WHO, or MPHCDA?
Well, I mean, no, but I mean,
Stop sharing lies about the COVID-19 vaccines. You're putting lives in danger.
Authentic info on the COVID-19 vaccines can be got from the WHO, NCDC, and MPHCDA websites. So, protect yourself, family, friends, and community from COVID-19. Get vaccinated sharply.
Do it for love.
Do it for love.
Do it for love.
If you buy what you compare on the Bible.
You fit to buy your phone today and you go pay later. iPhones today, both new ones and London used ones. Samsung phones today, Tecno, Itel, Oppo, Infinix, Redmi, Nokia, and other latest phones and accessories. Music box, laptop, liquid screen guard for to protect your phone from breakage. They repair phones, so both software and hardware with the home delivery services within Uyo. Divine Ugo Communication for anything we concern phones and accessories. You must have rejoined to confirm. Divine Ugo Communication. Them day for number 1 Ikote Bini Road, opposite Ibom Plaza, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, or make you call 080-680-93884 or 090-923-12971. Our shop day open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. from Monday, go reach Saturday.
Every love story begins with a conversation. You know, could be as little as a good morning text, a gift item to keep the memories going, a day to make even the memories last longer, a special treat for a special day. And this Valentine, Market Square is providing you with amazing deals for you to celebrate your loved ones. You can shop gift items, chocolates, hampers, teddy bears, and many more at great discounts this Valentine's Day at any Market Square outlet or at www.marketsquareng.com. Don't miss out.
Market Square. Find more. Pay less.
Radio 101.1 FM, and it's the first day of the countdown, which of course we have 14 days to the general election for the federal election, talking about the presidency. And of course, if you add that, you know, we have just about 30 days precisely to the March 10th general election or states elections. And we're talking about the different issues bedeviling Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State, and the world. And of course, the need for us to have a better society. Before I get into doing a few analysis, I welcome the House Leader to the microphone. Good morning, House Leader.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Speaker, and good morning to parliamentarians out there.
Yes, indeed. Just a quick reminder of the standing motions that we have on the floor of the House, talking about Akwa Ibom politics, godfathers, and politics of reward, self-ego, ethnic sentiments, and its negative effects. We'll talk about 2023 governorship candidates in Akwa Ibom State, Akwa Ibom people yearnings, and call for fair and uncontrolled townhall and media engagement, and the candidate disposition. We also have 2023 Akwa Ibom governorship candidates, ongoing court cases, and the shadow of the elections, on the general elections. You can join the conversations on 0902-223-1011 or 0817-624-8565. Now, what's in the streets according to politics? If you've been a political student in Akwa Ibom State, and you would know that in 1999 it was zoning that brought His Excellency Architect Obong Victor Otta into power as the first democratically elected governor of the state. And of course, he's been identified up until late as the father of modern-day democracy in Akwa Ibom State. And you're talking about an architect who laid the master grand plan for the different things that will happen in Akwa Ibom State. You're talking about projects executed and cited as strategic locations where they are best suited. One of such is the Science Park, which, of course, successive administration have failed to revitalize or complete the project. We move away from Science Park to the Ibaka Deep Seaport, which, of course, has been another issue of contention. We move to Le Meridian, we move to the Ibom Airport, which, of course, happens to be the one project that Akwa Ibomites would say successive administration have prioritized investment in that regard. And then from the architect Obong Victor Otta's tenure of establishing the airport to the Godswill Akwa Ibom's administration of moving upon what has been built, and now the present administration of Governor Udom Emmanuel, who has brought about Ibom Air, and of course the carrier that is owned by the state. You know, as much as there have been some questions whether or not this statement from the government is true. But this is one signature project that has witnessed the investment of 3 successive administrations, from architect Obong Victor Otta to Akwa Ibom and now Governor Udom Emmanuel. But moving on airport, there are different projects, different roads, different human capital development project, different areas, from the tourism sector to the economy to all aspects of Akwa Ibom State, that people believe if successive administration had prioritized investment in those areas, Akwa Ibom State would have not had the high level of unemployment that we are currently facing. We would not have to solve challenges, and that's about the debatable case that the internally generated revenue has not been properly accounted for, and that money is really generated on a daily basis, and who are responsible for documenting all of this. One of such areas has been from the market women, with the different markets across Akwa Ibom State, where we go on a daily basis. Market women in the numbers and traders in the numbers are being made to pay some levy on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and of course to the some professional organizations covering the MSMEs who've alleged that as far as internally generated revenue is concerned, the people who pay the most and the people who generate the most are the common traders, the artisans, and of course we're yet to see how much comes from the different sectors according to them. But these and many more other issues we are currently looking at this point in time as we gear up to select and elect who will lead us in the state. It's coming at a point where healthcare system is very poor. It's coming at a time where the educational policies is questionable. It's coming at a time where unemployment rate has skyrocketed and the poverty indices is very alarming. It's coming at a point where business can no longer be business as usual. And with the Electoral Act 2022, Akwa Ibomites, Nigerians have said, as we have over the time guaranteed by Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course the INEC boss, Mahmoud, said completely that elections will hold, and this time around is going to be free, fair, and credible. And Nigerians are asking, will we be having a replica of the June 12, 1982 elections that saw MKO Abiola and his counterparts coming into power, which of course, due to a military coup, did not come to existence? House Leader, over to you before we welcome contributions from parliamentarians via the phone line and, of course, the social media platform.
Yes, indeed, it's an issue to worry about. We'll talk about continuity in governance, which is a point a lot of political parties and candidates tend to campaign on, especially the ruling parties at any level, be it at the local, state, or the federal level. There's always the talk about continuity. Just yesterday, of course, we saw President Buhari at the palace of the Sultan of Sokoto. You know, he reiterated reasons why he, of course, was supporting the candidature of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he felt he was going to leverage on the already existing blueprints that his administration has fostered, you know, in the course of his time as president. And he felt Tinubu would just continue on those policies. That's left for the Nigerian people to decide, by the way, when they head to the polls. But the matter of genuine continuity is always key and important, and it's not something that, you know, should be only appraised on the premise that the succeeding administration must come from the very party that the incumbent, you know, leader actually belongs to, regardless whatever platform you're coming from. Continuity is key, because the project initiated by a previous administration was done with taxpayers' money and not the money belonging to that particular, you know, administration. So if you're coming in either as a new governor or a president, you're still expected to follow up on whatever projects the previous administration had enacted or initiated. So that is key, and that's what people want to see, and not just mere talking. But unfortunately, the tradition we've seen over the years, and across board we have to say, is that succeeding administrations, especially if you're coming from a different party altogether, actually leave most of this project to stay moribund for years. Most of them eventually rot away, and that means a good number of money has been wasted. So this is not what we want. We want to see a change in this regard going forward, that leaders will take it up on themselves to know that whatever projects are initiated, let's not forget they went through, you know, the required processes of being explored and debated on by the State House of Assembly. That's if it's at a state level, as we're talking about Akwa Ibom State. And then the budget was approved in that regard. So there's a taxpayers' money used to initiate this project, and abandoning them all for the sake of politicking will not all go well for everyone. So you could put the blame at the feet of the previous administration and say, okay, fine, this was their project, they didn't initiate it to the letter, so we had other important things to do. I mean, if you let it waste or rot under your watch, you're just as culpable, you know, for the inability of that project to succeed. And it means the benefits that should have been accrued to the people, courtesy of that project, will not be there. So to an extent, I think in Akwa Ibom State, we've sort of seen some level of continuity, you know, with some project, but there are other areas we could say perhaps they've been left to rot away. I don't know why this is the case, but there are some that we can, you know, rightly say there's been some level of continuity, and we can see the benefits attached to it. You made reference to the airport. I think that's one of the biggest success stories that Akwa Ibom State has had, and is a model for the rest of the country to follow. That one governor initiated the idea altogether, another was saddled with the responsibility of raising the structure to a good level, and Governor Emmanuel has ensured that we do not just have an airport running where other airlines can come in, patronize and all of that. Let's have a state-owned airline that would equally increase and better the GDP of the state, and that's what Ibom Air is doing. Let's not forget, the airport still doesn't have a hangar. And while the Udom administration had started that process, I don't think, or I don't see a possibility of it being completed, before he leaves office. So the next administration, owes it to Akwa Ibom people to ensure that the two hangars are actually completed in the event that the Udom administration doesn't do so, and then follow up in other areas, an expansion of the airport. When I look at the Gospel Akwa Ibom International Stadium, I always, it seems like people tend to forget. That stadium isn't meant to, don't forget, it's an Olympic-sized stadium. We always refer it to as an Olympic-sized stadium or an international stadium because it was supposed to be four-faced. But what we only have there is the football pitch, or where you only entertain football matches. There were provisions for that stadium to equally have a basketball court. I heard about a golf course, heard about a swimming pool, and several others. But we haven't seen all of that since the stadium was commissioned back in 2014 or 2015 by President John Dramani and then former President Goodluck Jonathan. So it begs the question, why have succeeding administrations not followed up on that? I personally would have thought Governor Emmanuel, in the course of his 8-year administration, would have expanded or completed other areas of that stadium. I'm not saying deciding to build or refurbish the Ekets Sports Stadium was a bad idea. No, it wasn't. Or trying to renovate the Uyo Township Stadium as well. Those are commendable moves, but the Gospel Akwa Ibom International Stadium is the icing on the cake as far as sporting facilities in the state is concerned. Completing that, for me, would have been very nice. The Science Park is still lying moribund. So these are things succeeding administration should come in. All the governorship candidates are coming to tell us, yes, we're going to work in the Science Park, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day, the next administration comes in and tells us, oh, we don't have money to do all that. We have to focus on other grey areas. So if we see a change in this regard, I think it will be very good for us.
All right, let's get to welcome more contributions from parliamentarians on the floor of the House this morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Hello, good morning. Okay, lost connection there. Please try and connect us back. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
I think the decision has not done properly. They have done and stopped on the former. But administration, however, on the I think he has a national because national has a bigger effect to the state. I think the state is strong. That is it. The state cannot be stronger than that of the national. I think so. I want to use this to thank the state government employ primary school teachers. And they have done some employment in the economy. So I want to use this to 19, not even do that plan 2021 and 22, and now that against state government and said that they shouldn't have the budget for that. Up until now, nothing has been done about it. Even the have not done anything in that direction. Thank you for having me.
All right, many thanks for joining us. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Hello, good morning. Good morning and welcome to the plenary. Yes. All right, go ahead. All right, thank you for the question. Well, it's only the authorities of the People's Democratic Party who can tell us at this point in time, and hopefully we'll have them on the floor of the House within the course of the countdown show, come clarify some of those issues for Akwa Ibomites at this point. But let me come back to you, House leaders, get to entertain some of the comments we have on our Facebook page, and lots of them dropping so far.
Yes, let's head to a Facebook page. Don't forget, you can reach out to us, Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo on Facebook. And we'd like to advise as well that when you do drop your comments, ensure they are as moderate as possible. All right, so let's start with this one. It's coming from Parliamentarian Hope Moore Jr. It says, Godfathers in politics is an issue of concern. They want to be in control at all costs. And that's why there are court cases here and there. I suggest we should also consider those candidates without court cases, because this will continue even after the elections. Udemega Ebu says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Politics of godfatherism and rewards is what is keeping us where we are in the state. Local government areas, for instance, are in shambles because what we call elections was a mere formality because they were all selected into office. What of representatives from the State House to the National Assembly? Very few are making impact. Others are just there receiving salaries for doing nothing. He who pays the piper detects the tune. Thank you very much. Noya Idiong says, good morning, parliamentarians, and happy weekend to you all. I think I will agree with the advice by Governor Wike to the electorate not to involve themselves in any protest that will cause elections to be postponed. And for the candidates in Akwa Ibom, my advice to them is any of them who has court issues to try and settle his or her issues in court amicably before the election, because I don't want to see someone suffer to win, then go to court and turn down such victory because of one fault or the other. All right, Samuel Ewok says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Politics of godfatherism and rewards, self-ego, ethnic sentiment, something we must try as much as possible to eradicate from the system. It has been the reason we're not making progress. Godfathers and political bigots have decided to sacrifice qualifications and competency on the altar of imposition, sentiment, and political recommendation, making the system to breed leaders with no empathy, love, and love for the people. The negative effect is that instead of us going forward, we are moving backwards, while the leaders are feeding fine with our common patrimony. The society is left with frustrated people who now decide to inflict and transfer their aggressions to the poor masses. And quickly from Idara City Newham, good morning, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, the House Leader and other parliamentarians. Politics, please see politics in the Akwa Ibom State as just a child's play. Our leaders don't know their left from right anymore, and they should try to be careful, else they may bring a very serious problem to the state. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Well, that's the size of our comment section. We'll come back to the phone lines. And of course, if you just join us, there are three motions up for discuss this morning, bordering on our growth and development as a people. And you already know that as far as we are concerned in the forthcoming general elections, unless we are more intentional in how we engage our politicians and, of course, the people who are seeking to lead us, we just might get it to the point where it's going to be business as usual, which is something that we all at this point are praying not to happen again. But the big question is, are you ready to take the decisive decision, the decisive stand to say, yes, I'm not going to sell my vote. Yes, I'm not going to vote based on party affiliations, based on economic sentiments, or based on contract. And of course, today I saw a statement by the late Femi Kuti's son, where he has blasted Ahmed Bola Tinubu, saying that he was a fool when he campaigned for Ahmed to become the governor of Lagos State. And then he concluded by saying that he has not gotten any contract from Ahmed Bola Tinubu in the last 10 years. And the questions Nigerians are attacking him and asking is, did you vote Ahmed Tinubu? Did you campaign for Ahmed Bola Tinubu to get project? And then as a result of you not being able to get that project, you're now coming to cry foul for Nigerians. It takes a mind to the fact that we are still in the political era where politicians believe that people who mobilize or people who deliver their word in the political parlance, as they say, deliver your word, get a federal government contract. Just like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar had said, that has generated a lot of reactions. Now, if we get to have this crop of politicians return to power in the forthcoming general elections, what do you think will be the fate of all of us as a people? Let's get to hear your thoughts before we move to the rest of the motions. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, but I'm not about concerning the issue today. I just want to let you know that I won in a program that was doing by Ibom A yesterday, but I'm not cutting my price, please.
What's your name?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name again?
My name is
Destiny.
Yes.
Yeah, you were asked to send us a message. You haven't done that.
Okay.
Yeah, until you do that before we can get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Destiny, please do the message right away so that you do not keep all the winners of the Ibom Air Touchdown Thursday with Ibom Air show that took place yesterday from getting their gift from the sponsors of the program. Because I know the names were forwarded and should have been forwarded yesterday, but we could not because we didn't want to forward two and leave one out, which of course I'm hoping that before the end of this People's Parliament, you must have forwarded the numbers and the contacts as you were advised to do so that the names can be forwarded. And of course, you can get, to be part of the fun and the excitement of getting your gift for being a winner of the Touchdown Thursday with Ibom Air, proudly brought to you in collaboration with TAV Media Group. Well, we're going to take another short pause here and we head out to bring you the BBC The World in 2 minutes and other commercials. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up our conversations on the floor of the House. Many thanks for staying tuned.
This is Planet in partnership with the BBC. And now, BBC Minutes.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The first aided convoy from the UN has arrived in the opposition-held part of northwest Syria following Monday's devastating earthquakes. The supplies were driven from Turkey. Over 17,000 people are now known to have been killed by the quakes in Turkey and Syria. Hundreds of thousands are without shelter, heat, electricity or running water. The American songwriter, record producer and pianist Burt Bacharach has died aged 94. The 6-time Grammy Award and 3-time Oscar winner composed hundreds of pop songs and film scores over 3 decades. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has told the European Parliament in Brussels that his country is fighting Russia not just to defend itself, but also Europe's way of life. The Ukrainian military has been stopped from using a leading satellite system to help operate its drones. The company SpaceX, which is owned by Elon Musk, says the Starlink satellite should be put to humanitarian rather than military use. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is in Sudan on the latest stage of his Africa tour, aimed at shoring up Moscow's influence on the continent. Mr. Lavrov urged the country to solve its political problems without external interference. Ethiopia has banned protests by members of the Christian Orthodox Church, the country's most widely practiced religion. Divisions within the church have led to violent clashes and at least 5 people were killed last weekend. The Church of England has voted to offer blessings to same-sex couples who are already married or in civil partnerships. The church's ruling body acknowledged what it said had been a failure to welcome LGBT people. The Chinese social media site TikTok has promised to add more safety features to tackle disinformation on the platform in Europe. The EU brought in tougher sanctions on disinformation for social media firms last year. BBC News.
The world in 2 minutes.
Amapiano and Afrobeats, they dine together. The two giants, Niger and South Eton show. Plenty drama, romance, cameras 247. Come see where Yawa the gas Yawa.
Make on catch all the excitement on Top Go TV Jolly, Max and Super on Channel 29. Reconnect today on my Go TV app or dial *288#. Big Brother Titans now for people who don't reach or pass 18 years old. Our headline sponsors now Bamboo, Flutterwave and Lotto Star.
My people, no let new naira and cashless matter worry you. Hope Bank day your phone, 500 naira woof day. So if you want send mama money, I be to buy a Maka recharge card. To give customer money, I be customer want give you money. Hope day phone, 500 naira woof day. My people, your phone number, na ATM card and account number. Oh.
Yes, so enjoy better life with Hope Wallet. Dial *569*9# on your phone. Select Open Wallet. Put your details and fiam. Your wallet not set. Hope PS Bank go sell you 500 naira a woof. Terms and conditions dey. Hope, succeed. Hope Bank always.
In life, we got so many battles to fight, but the one battle you will never win is the battle against love. Don't fight the feeling this Valentine's season. Come with your loved ones to Ibom Icon Hotel and Golf Resort for our special Valentine's dinner. There will be loads of food and drinks, music, spoken word, comedy, dance, signature love tunnel, games, and prizes to be won. It's happening on Tuesday, February 14 by the poolside. Red carpet, 5 p.m. Welcome cocktail, 6 p.m. And themed buffet dinner, 7 p.m. VIP tables, 30,000 naira per couple. And VVIP love booth, 100,000 naira per couple. For inquiries and reservations, please call 0808-052-7411. Ibom Icon Hotel and Golf Resorts, one experience for a lifetime of memories.
One of the greatest icon of Nigeria to have lived happens to be Fela Kuti, whose songs was used to fight corruption and the situation of bad governance in Nigeria. And one of the songs that is always associated and affiliated with a call for liberation and a call for freedom is a song by Fela Kuti titled Colonial Mentality. We have all witnessed, and if we did not witness within that time, we have witnessed it through the history books or the pages of history books and the history archives, and of course through folk songs and folk tales telling us what happened to our people during the colonial era in Nigeria. We're talking about the cultural inferiority complex of Nigeria's governing elite. We're talking about the manner with which the Europeans regarded the people. We're talking about the fact that as a people, even we were responsible for the level of hardship that we have faced and we were subjected to by the slave masters. We're coming to a season where there have been a lot of debates and conversations about the fact that the black man's problem is the black man. And whether or not we like to agree to it, it's been shown and evident and the different scenarios playing out across Nigeria and across the different states of the country, across the different countries in the African continent has further pointed to the fact that, yes, we need a change of attitude. We need a complete mind shift from what we used to know and what has been attributed or associated with us as a people in order for us to have the change. I'm excited to welcome you back to the floor of the house this morning, where we are talking politics and the different issues bedeviling Akwa Ibom State, particularly in terms of politics. We're talking about Akwa Ibom politics, godfathers, and politics of reward, self-ego, and ethnic sentiments, and its negative effects. We're also looking at 2023 governorship candidates in Akwa Ibom State, Akwa Ibom people yearning and call for fair and uncontrolled town hall and media engagement, and the candidates' disposition. Also, we'll be talking about 2023 Akwa Ibom State governorship candidates, and the ongoing court cases, and the showdown of on the general elections. Days are up for this because you can join the conversation on Facebook on Planet 101.1 FM with your on the phone number 0902-223-1011 or 0817-624-8565. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Hello.
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Yes, my name is Vijay. I want to say this is the first time the history of Akwa Ibom that all of them, this one here, they started meeting. The governor. Nobody is going to
Okay, thank you very much for your comment.
Well, I think that's a very striking remark. It looks like something everyone seemed to have forgotten. I don't know who actually made that some sort of a law or a tradition, but I think over the years it was usually the case for the so-called anointed leaders, to be taken to that place where he mentioned, just shying away from not saying it as well, for whatever reason. To be anointed again, perhaps traditionally, as the chosen one going into elections. We haven't seen that. I don't know if it's happened. Maybe the respective candidates are doing it in secrecy, or perhaps the fact that it's been played down on because it's the turn of, in quotes, the Ibibios, courtesy of the zoning formula that most parties, if not all the parties, have actually adopted in zoning the gubernatorial candidate to Uyo senatorial district. So I don't know what importance was attached to it, but then as far as it has no place within the electoral laws or the constitution of the country, then those of us who are serious-minded, about ensuring that it is only our votes who elect leaders and not what a select few persons would say, we wouldn't pay attention to such gimmicks.
All right, let's get to hear more from parliamentarians today. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, Leader of the House. My name is Pastor Odid. I'm calling from Ita.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, there is this concern I'm having because I really fear where this country is heading. You know why? It's because of our leaders. Political leaders, sometimes they overheat the policy by their utterances and statements. Very recently, we heard a governor of the particular state in the South saying that there could be a plot of truncating the forthcoming election and then install an interim government, and that people should not. I wonder where this information they get this information from, or are they made speculation? And then that these people you are leading, most of us are very gullible. They swallow everything you say, hook, line, and sinker. And then if that happens, people will begin to be apprehensive, and then they will be defensive and offensive as well. So I just want to urge our leaders, they should, because some of them are actually betting their anger on the system, on the country they have also helped to spoil. Sometimes they go to election and maybe the primaries they fail, they have a political ambition, they fail, and then they will come around, overheat the policy by their utterances, even by their attitude, by their policies, like what we are going through now. I could just deduce that it is out of failure. Someone failed somewhere, and then they say, okay, how am I going to punish the people? Let me bring in policy at this time round. Because it's an afterthought. Why didn't you bring this policy all this time, but this period? Because you wanted to be president. How can a sitting central bank governor aspire to be a president sitting in that same office? It's wrong. It's wrong. That's why we're going through all of these things, the cash crunch, the naira swap, and all of that. You have not put up a system that will enhance your policy, but you bring the policy.
All right, wrap up, please.
2.5 trillion naira, and then you are sending out 500 billion. Then these greedy people in the banks and other places have seized this 500 billion, and then the masses are suffering. What is all this? So I want our leaders to know how they make utterances. They should use the thing they say, and they should subject it to objectivity.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Oyo.
Welcome. Okay, I guess Parliamentarian Emmanuel just came to introduce himself today. But in case it's network problem, please kindly call us back. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Go.
Amen. I've come to his Supreme Court, letting the public know. And this what he did is supposed to be
All right, now, I'd like to ask a question. And I know we all know that God's will always come to pass. But in terms of God's will, there is something called the free will of man, which is not under of God. He doesn't interfere with that free will that is given to all of us. And that we are able to, and of course, allows us to choose whether to follow God's will or to follow what we want. It's and that is in your hands. It's before you, so choose one. So do you think we're to a point where we have God's will being done when we people are not taking the responsibility to take the needed action that is required of us for that will to be done?
Okay. And now the
I wouldn't want to say God has used anybody to punish us. And of course, God cannot punish his people. He has made it crystal clear in his book. He once said that it no longer will he, destroy the world with water and any disaster again. That was back in the Bible. Yes, we know, some natural disasters still happening to this generation, but that is completely different from what God said. So God cannot use somebody to destroy the next person. It's completely out of the place for us to say that on the floor of the House.
Oh, that's right. And I think people need to play down on the rhetoric and do not just give in to, their emotions. Otherwise, it could just lit up the flare that people like Governor Nyesom Wike has been cautioning against. And I think I do agree with him. A protest at this stage, in spite of the hardship Nigerians are going through and all of that, it's not the best, for us. INEC has reiterated they hope to hold the elections as scheduled, even though every now and then they keep on telling us one or two things could, hamper the conduct of the elections. But if INEC were so confident, in spite of the fact that, their offices and installations across different states of the country were being attacked, especially in the southeast, in the face of that, they said the elections would go on. So I don't see why the other reasons or issues of the day, should equally hamper the chances of the elections being conducted. If the people give in to this and go out to the streets to protest, it could degenerate into something we did not expect. And there are those who always, look for opportunities like this to equally foment, further trouble. I don't believe the true organizers of the NSAS protest, who had genuine reasons to urge the federal government to disband SARS then and reform the Nigerian police in totality. I don't think they had wanted, the protest to degenerate to the level that we saw, so much so that, it took the ill-fated shooting, alleged shooting of Nigerians at the Lekki toll gate for the NSAS protest to snowball into the chaos that we saw back in 2020. We're not looking for that kind of protest again. It has to be peaceful if we have to go out to protest, because it's our fundamental rights to do so. But let's be careful so others don't take advantage of it and then it degenerates into a state of anarchy. Once that happens, we will not have a choice, or the president will not have a choice, than to arrest the situation with whatever powers the Constitution grants him, even if it means declaring a state of emergency is within his rights to do so, and that could mean postponing the elections as well. And trust me, there are those who are looking for an opportunity to get the polls postponed. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I said, even if President Buhari gives in to the Supreme Court's ruling, of course, is by the constitutional right, he actually has to, stay his hands on further implementation of that policy. Of course, while we're all waiting for the outcome of the Council of State meeting today, which President Buhari has convened by 10, I did say even if President Buhari gives in to the pressure, he would have to an extent succeeded with his overall plans, which was to deter people from mobilizing resources to truncate this election. The elections are 14 days away, and it's no wonder why persons had to rush, to the courts, to urge the courts to, ask the CBN to discontinue, with this policy. even though they've gotten it at the court level, I don't think it has in any way, prevented President Buhari, from going ahead with the original idea, the original plan he had, which is to deter anyone who tries to truncate the electoral process by mobilizing resources to do so. So I believe a lot of them have been largely affected. And I did say fighting corruption is not easy. Corruption would definitely fight back. So if for anything, let's just play down on the rhetoric, as I said. So we do not allow our, easy protest to snowball into chaos. Otherwise, it's going to be worse than what we're having now.
All right, Housley, just take us through with a few more comments before your excuse of the plenary.
Yes, Mayor Bassi Andem says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. The negative effect of gut federalism and politics of reward, self-ego, and ethnic sentiment in Akwa Ibom politics is numerous, and it has caused us high rate of unemployment that we are facing in the state. In the midst of abundance, it has also caused youth restiveness and crime. The crime we're also experiencing in the state. And he says, concerning ongoing court cases pertaining to the governorship candidates, this is an indication that all the candidates are not only out for their personal interests, because anyone who is out to serve his people will not be desperate to lead. May God help us in this country and cause his face to shine upon us, and also touch INEC to be upright in the conduct of the forthcoming election. Bro John says political godfathers have made our politics more of a monarchy than a democracy, and the people are to share a large chunk of the blame and play a part in influencing the so-called delegates, thereby inducing them for their self-interest. Will never promote visionary leaders for nation building. The PDP and APC must be involved in the media and town hall engagement for a balanced democratic engagement for the people to hear their manifestos. The court is the last hope of the common man, so let justice take its course by selecting relevant candidates to represent their political parties. We hope that turns out to be the case, and we're still waiting for responses, by the way. Remember, right here on this platform on plenary, we had given an opportunity to the APC and the People's Democratic Party, who shied away from the governorship debate, and we'd like to hold them accountable to their respective responses. Barrister Imokban, the APC Governorship Campaign Council spokesperson, and Dr. Chris Abaseyo of the People's Democratic Party both promised that should we provide them a platform, to come for another debate, they would oblige us. So we're going to hold them accountable to that until March 11, and let's hope they do comply, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you so much, Housley. And of course, just before you go, a text coming in from Anyakan, who said he won yesterday the touchdown. He's sending in a text with multiple numbers. I'd like for you to give him clarifications further on that.
Okay, Anyakan, I wish you would send us a message with your full details, because I actually took down the names of those who had won. So if yours doesn't match with mine and the numbers that I have, then sorry, you're not a winner. We only had 3 yesterday. So
All right, so Anyakan, please ensure your call and your text message rather comes in with a number that you used to call into the show that you actually won yesterday. We are doing that to ensure that only the authentic and right winners get to access the prizes that they won within the course of the Touchdown Thursday, brought to you by Ibom Air in partnership with TAV Media Group. We'll entertain a few more calls and then we'll call it a wrap on the floor of the House this morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it is have in a particular they should and
All right, many thanks for joining us this morning. Of course, the issue and the need for us to all vote our conscience and vote those individuals we believe have a way to lead us is very critical at this point. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Good morning. Many thanks for joining us on the floor of the House this morning. And of course, I'd like to appreciate all parliamentarians. Just a few more calls before we call it a wrap. Just have 2 minutes. So who the lucky winner is going to be? The lucky caller, rather. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the planet. Yes, good morning. Good morning.
In the studio. My name is Imedium. I'm calling from New York.
Go ahead.
You see, I want to where does it start and how does you see, until